Hi everyone. Good afternoon, good evening, good weekend. I hope you guys all had a great weekend. We ended up being stuck home from church today, this evening, because our roads are a complete and total sheet of ice, literally ice raining, and it was a whole thing this afternoon. We drove completely sideways down our road. So that was exciting. So we are home. So I figured that I would do a live stream and give you guys a little bit of trial prep for the murder of Evelyn Boswell. Megan Boswell will be on trial starting this week. Jury selection does start tomorrow. This is a trial that I do intend to watch with you guys. We're going to stream this and take a look and see what is going on. As per usual, we will be behind on the stream so that we can cut out any breaks, lunches, long time periods where there's just awkward silence and things like that. That way we don't have to take 8 hours to watch a trial day. We can typically do it in 4 or so hours. It makes it very convenient for individuals who have a busy life and still want to see what exactly is going on. And so that is the format in which we watch trials on this channel now. For those of you guys who are tuning in via Facebook or Twitch, if you see me saying hello to people, it is likely going to be in the YouTube section. For example, Ringo, you're watching over on Twitch. Thank you so much for checking us out over there. Appreciate it. You can also come over to the YouTube chat if you want to engage with all of these other fine individuals. Seal, hello. Hi, Daddy's baby girl. Hi, Ocean Tide. Good to see you guys. So we're going to go down through a lot of the case details. Before we start doing that, though, put a 1 in the chat if you have if you are familiar with the case of Evelyn Boswell, a murdered toddler child. Have you guys seen this case before, or is this completely new to you? So put a 1 in the chat if you are familiar and are up to date with this case, and put a let's do sevens. Put a 7 in the chat if you're new to this case, just so we can see where kind of everybody is, and we'll go from there. You don't even know what Twitch is. Listen, it's newer to me too. It's mostly used, I would say, primarily by people who are streaming video games and like the younger crowd and things like that. Figured we would open up over there as well. I do play video games, and so I will probably end up streaming things like Call of Duty or, um, my farming game, stuff like that at some point over there on Twitch. So you heard about it, but you don't know much. Yeah, I've been learning about it. Okay, good. Okay, so Ocean Tide is newer, Ringo is newer, and Seal is familiar. So we will start at the beginning and we will go from there. So let me pull up. There is an amazing little video of Evelyn, and I'm going to pull this up so that you guys can see who baby Evelyn was. She was just 15 months old at the time that she was reported missing and unfortunately was allegedly murdered. Yeah, way better emojis in Twitch. The emojis in Twitch are interesting to say the least. So this is baby Evelyn. She had been reported missing in February of 2019. And let's see here. She was allegedly last seen somewhere between December 10th and December 26th of 2019, and she was 15 months old at the last time of her disappearance. Now, when the Amber Alert flyers went out, they had said that she was allegedly last seen wearing a pink tracksuit, pink shoes, and a pink bow. So this is baby Evelyn. I lost my restream. I don't know which. Okay, here it is. I couldn't find it to move it back. Okay, here we go. Hi, Amanda Page. How are you? You just really want to know why mom did it. So mom is who is being charged in this crime. Hi, Live Long No More. I know it's absolutely it's horrible. Yeah, cases like these take a toll. They really do. And there are a lot of people who were in the Summerwells community, for example, that had followed this case extremely closely while it was unfolding because this is not far from where Summerwells was. All of this took place in Blountville, Tennessee. TBI was covering it. It was all over the same news stations as Summer Moon Utah Wells, and so a lot of the same audience for both of those cases as far as, tragedy, just following these tragic cases. So, the trial is expected to start tomorrow. They're going to have, the jury selection beginning tomorrow. So let me just pull up this timeline of this case and kind of show you guys some of the first press conferences that took place. We'll follow this as if we're following a brand new case. So, this is the Amber Alerts that originally went out from the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation. The Amber Alert flyer. Here it is. And this is what people got on their phones. Just this flyer here. That she was 15 months old. She was a white female with blonde hair, blue eyes, 2 feet tall, weighing 28 pounds at the time of her disappearance. And it says a statewide Amber Alert has been issued on the behalf of Sullivan County Sheriff's Office for Evelyn Boswell. She is a 15-month-old white female, 2 feet tall, 28 pounds, blonde hair, blue eyes. She was last seen wearing a pink tracksuit, pink shoes, and a pink bow. She was entered as a missing child on Tuesday, February 18th, but was reportedly last seen on December 26th. We've seen this multiple times in these cases where these parents, whenever they have done something nefarious to their children, they just fail to report them. Or whenever something nefarious has happened, not necessarily for sure by the parents, because some of these parents are still walking free with their children out there or with their children out there missing and no accountability being held. But you think about cases like Oakley Carlson, who is also still who has never been found at this point, and her parents are just both out there walking around free. They were held for a short period of time, but even with Oakley never being located, nobody has ever been held accountable for her disappearance. Thankfully, that's not what happened in Evelyn's case. They did eventually find Evelyn. She was located in March of this same year, and arrests were made prior to her even being located in February of that year. They did arrest her mom, Megan Boswell, as well as a few other individuals. And so let's keep going in line here though, so that we don't get mixed up or mess any details up. So on February 21st, they reported that they were seeking information about a gray BMW and the individuals traveling it were connected to Evelyn. Those individuals were inevitably found, but let's go ahead and take a look at this press conference, see how long it is.
Evelyn was last seen in
10
December.
minutes.
As you all know, these cases are already time sensitive, and we urge anyone with any information to come forward. I know there are a lot of questions and rumors floating around. Believe me, we have a lot of questions that are still unanswered as well. The investigation began on Tuesday afternoon, February 18, after the Sullivan County Sheriff's Office received a State of Tennessee Department of Children's Services referral. The referral stated that certain family members hadn't seen the Evelyn in 2 months.
I'm gonna audio boost it, sorry. Always difficult to hear.
The Sullivan County Sheriff's Office and the Department of Children's Services immediately launched an investigation to locate 15-month-old Evelyn Boswell. Her mother, Megan Maggie Boswell, has been involved in the investigation as long as with the father, Ethan Perry, who is stationed in the military in Louisiana. On Wednesday evening, just before 8 p.m., the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation decided the missing child met the criteria for an Amber Alert due to the child possibly being in imminent danger of physical harm or death. Numerous tips came through the virtual command center and into our dispatch center. All leads have and will continue to be followed up on. We are continuing to interview anybody that may have any information on the whereabouts of Evelyn, or anybody that can provide us with that information. During this investigation, we were made aware of a person of interest that we would like to speak to. This may lead to additional relevant information in our investigation. This vehicle with the occupants is a gray 2007 BMW with Tennessee tags 3M9 6W9. That's 3 Mike 9 6 Whiskey 9. I am personally donating $1,000 for award for any information that results in the safe return of Evelyn, and would like to solicit other community members or anybody from the nation to attach themselves with me to aid in bringing sweet Evelyn home. Have any questions?
Who first reported the toddler missing? Or who was in that referral?
The grandmother.
The grandmother?
Or grandfather, I'm sorry. My bad.
Now, normally the first hours in these kind of cases are the most important. Are there any worries since it's been 2 months?
That's our main worry. This, like I say, this is unlike anything I've ever seen. We usually we have to act really quick, and usually a 1 hour, 2 hour basis is when it's reported. But we're talking 2 months, and it's hindering a lot of our investigation. But we're going to continue investigating and continue following up on every lead that's come through our Tennessee Bureau of Investigation virtual command center and our dispatch.
Why is your interest peaked around this BMW? How did this come about?
I can't release any information on that at that time because some of the information we're getting is conflicting. It's inaccurate. But we do have a vehicle description that we think maybe the occupants of that vehicle or just wanted just a question, and that's, we just need to talk to these people just so we can move on to different leads.
So while he moves on to different leads, we're also going to move on past this press conference because really this press conference was about locating Evelyn's grandmother or Megan's mom and her boyfriend. And that was who it was in that vehicle whenever they located it. And it said the grandmother of missing toddler and her boyfriend have each faced charges of domestic violence. Angela Boswell, 42 of Kingsport, was arrested along with her boyfriend William McLeod late last week on car theft charges, sorry. Accusations authorities used to get the pair into custody. So it says that they believe that the grandmother of 15-month-old Evelyn Boswell, vanished. Wait. Authorities, yeah, okay. Granddaughter of, yeah, so Evelyn's missing, basically. The toddler's grandfather, Tommy Boswell, reported her missing on February 18th, saying that certain family members hadn't seen her in 2 months. Evelyn's family members, including her 18-year-old mother, Megan Boswell, have given conflicting and changing statements to the authorities, and Megan Boswell was taken into custody on Tuesday night. Tommy Boswell Sr. has accused the toddler's grandmother of violence twice, once in order of protection application and once in a criminal warrant. The warrant alleged that the toddler's grandfather came home from work with no food in the kitchen on March 2009. This is unrelated to Evelyn missing right here. This is just about the grandmother. So Angela Boswell for a set of keys so he could go get some. Angela then started yelling at him, grabbing Tommy by the neck and grabbed an ink pen and shoved it into his neck. What? The alleged attack occurred in the view of the couple's then teenage son. The warrant alleges the father and son fled as Angela Boswell continued assaulting her husband, grabbing his hair as he ran out the door. This is the environment, guys, Megan was Megan was in. I mean, this is the environment that Megan Boswell was raised in. Not that that justifies anything that took place between her and Evelyn, but it does show this nonstop um, tendency for people who have gone through these abusive type situations or these families, like it's generational. Over and over and over and over and over again, we see these same type of things take place. Hi, Lise. Hi, BC. Good to see you guys. Hi, Fly Girl. Thank you everyone for coming in. Please don't forget to take a second and hit the like button on the video as well. As I said at the beginning of this, we are going to be watching this trial as we always do, just a few hours behind so that we're able to skip breaks and lunches and really be able to take in all of the full details of the trial as it takes place in a shorter time period. Instead of 8 hours, you guys will be able to watch the trial typically in about 4 to 5 hours. So it really does make things nice in that way. So in this, though, here we are, and they were arrested, taken into custody, and obviously questioned about Evelyn's disappearance at this point. Also, around the same time is when Megan Boswell was also taken into police custody. Where did it go? Hold on one second. Why did it disappear? Okay, that's fine. So before Megan was taken into custody, she did do several interviews. So here is one of the first interviews that came out with Megan Boswell.
Favorite things and personality wise. I know, like looking on TV and just kind of seeing a picture, it's a lot harder to, envision a baby. Like her favorite food is like sweet potato. She's really sweet. She loves to give people kisses. Favorite song is Baby Shark. Just like that kind of stuff.
Can you tell me what's her favorite toy?
She has a little baby shark puppet.
What would y'all do together?
Well, she loves to take baths. That was her favorite thing. And she had little shark toys that swim in the bath and stuff like that.
How old is she now?
She's 15 months today, actually.
Oh, wow. Can you tell me a little bit? Like, so you said she's very sweet. Is she sweet with everybody, or just
She is. She loves everybody.
Can you tell me a little bit about like how you're feeling? Do you miss her? Are you worried?
Of course, I miss her, and like, I can't tell anything about the ongoing investigation, but I'm sure you all have released an article about the car and stuff like that, so they have a pretty good idea of who has her. I mean, if they're watching, I just want them to bring her back.
Is there anything you'd like to say to them if they're watching?
Keep in mind that she did not report Evelyn missing. It was Evelyn's grandfather that reported her missing, and she was claiming essentially that her mom took her. In this video, she is 18 years old. She was 17 whenever she had Evelyn, and 18 in this video. She is 19, or no, I believe she is. Let's see. Yeah. Yep. But she was very, very young. She was dating a 19-year-old whenever she got pregnant, and I guess, well, not even dating. I guess it was more of like a one night stand type of situation. He deployed to the military, and because of the way that Tennessee's laws are, she retained full custody immediately as the mother. Yeah, she's a really great liar. She had a lot of people fooled, I think. Not so much in the public, but I think she wanted to believe that she had a lot of people fooled, I guess I should say.
I just want her back. That's my child.
I'm sorry. I know this must be hard. Why don't you tell me a little bit more about her? Do you have any pictures of her? Have you been looking?
Not on me, no.
Not on you. Have you been looking at photos and stuff of her while you're? How are you coping with all of this?
I just want her back.
Just want her back. If you could tell her anything now, what would you say to her?
I love her and I miss her, and that I'll be with her as soon as I can get to her any way I can.
Um, is there anything that you can tell us about, like, what kind of baby she is? I know you said that it's hard to see.
She's a happy baby. She hardly ever cries. She wants to wave and talk to everybody. She walks funny. She doesn't know how to pick her feet up, so she kind of wobbles.
Is she talkative?
She is.
What?
She
Thank you, daddy's baby girl. Yeah, she was insinuating that the babysitter took her. She insinuated so many different things. There's numerous lies that she had tried to convince people of. I mean, she had said at first to the police whenever they came to question her about where Evelyn was after grandpa reported her missing, that the Evelyn was with her father, Ethan Perry, who was in the military. Not even there, not even a chance. She also said that she was with a babysitter on December 26th and that she didn't want to report her daughter missing to the police because she was upset that the babysitter who took her would never return her if she told on her. Um, and then she had also said that her mom had taken her, hence why police were looking for the vehicle that her mom and her boyfriend were known to have. She had said, like, we're talking countless lies, right? Just over and over again, new things. Um, and so it was very evident to police right away. But on the public side of things, this is what the public's seen. And so she did have some people fooled, but then a lot of people, you true crime sleuths that are out there and constantly digging into information. A lot of you guys pulled her card right at the beginning and was like, no, there's no way she did something to that baby. And so, to call it sleuth intuition, I guess, for some of you, but it's not always true though. Sometimes our sleuth intuition is wrong, but in this case, unfortunately, it was right. It was right, and it was mom and the family that allegedly are involved. I mean, she's facing 20 different charges.
giggles a lot. You'll smile at her, she'll just start giggling. She's very happy.
And so you said she is talkative. Is full sentences? Like, what milestones has she met? Like, is she a smart little girl?
She is. She hit every milestone early. She's not, she can almost say I love you. She's not fully got to sentences yet, but she does say a lot of words.
You must be so proud of her.
I am. When Baby Shark plays, she tries to like dance with them and sing it.
You said that's her favorite song. Do you do the puppet with her a lot? And I know all of this is very hard. Can you tell me, like, how you're feeling?
I just want her back. That's all I want.
Are you feeling worried or anything along those lines?
Yeah.
Can you tell me about that at all?
Well, the reason I didn't report it or anything is because I knew the person who had her, and I didn't want them to run away with her. And as soon as they thought anything was going on, they just kind of vanished. So I'm just worried about, like where they're at, what they're doing with her at this point in time.
So you do know who has her? You do. Can you tell us who that is, or you don't?
I can't release anything further about that. I'm sure they will at the press conference, but further than that, I can't say anything.
And so you do know who has her. Are you worried about her safety?
Well, now I am because they won't answer phone calls. They've just kind of disappeared.
What is it like to? I'm assuming that you trusted this person. How has this trust been broken? What's been going on with that?
It has definitely been broken after this.
Have you spoken to her father at all during this process? Are you having any support from him or from your family?
Yeah, my grandma's very supportive. She always is.
That's good. But you haven't spoken to him at all?
Mm-mm.
When was the last time you saw her?
In December.
In December.
What parent in their right mind is perfectly fine with not seeing their child since December and the child just allegedly being with someone else? It's just not feasible. It's not reality for any parent in my opinion, not any parent who is a good parent. She has been arrested since February of 2020. So she's been in, I mean, it's going on 5 years now that she has been in jail. Really sucked with Casey Anthony trial. You watched the entire thing. In your opinion, she was guilty. Watching the trial, I do agree that there was not enough evidence to convict her. I hope this trial doesn't go the way that Anthony's trial went. I do not think it will, simply because of the time span. I think that they found Evelyn with adequate time in order to have appropriate evidence, I'm hoping. Um, and that's one of those things that with Evelyn and the condition of her remains and things of that nature, they have actually rolled off for some of the photos and things like that, that they will not show that to the jury because it would be too much. It would be too much for them to handle because of the condition of her remains. Hi, Chicken Lady. How are you? Hi, Seclusion Works.
And what was that last day like? Was it a good day? I think it was about around Christmas, right? Can you tell me about that?
It was a good day. She had a little pink bow in her hair and a little Puma tracksuit on. It was hot pink.
And what, like, I know that you're hoping that she'll be returned shortly. Is there anything that you'd like to say to the person or people that have her that you think they should hear from you?
They should just bring her back. They obviously know like what's going on and like they need to bring her back home.
Mm-hmm. And you said that you trusted this person. So when did you realize that that trust might have been broken?
Well, when they just kind of took off and wouldn't answer anybody.
Around when was that?
Whenever this whole thing started.
Okay, all right. And can you tell me a little bit more about like how you're feeling? I know all of this is scary and everything. Can you tell
It
me
is.
about
I just want her back.
that? Mm-hmm.
That's all I can think about. Is just getting her back.
Is there anything the community can do to help you?
No. Other than look for her. I know they released the car information and the tag number and stuff like that. Just any leads at all, they need to like call us so we can go check them out. Try to find her.
Has anyone like have you gotten any information from the community that's been helpful, or you just kind of in this?
I don't really know. They've all been looking at leads and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they are working their butts off.
Has the police department and everything, the sheriff's office, been keeping you in the loop for this?
They
whole
have been.
process? Is it? How's that been going? Has that been good? Positive?
It is good.
Good. And I know that you said that you're getting a lot of support from your family. Are they like helping you going to courts and meetings and stuff with you? I know you've had a lot of.
Yeah, they didn't know I had court today. Or I'm sure my grandma would have been there.
Did you keep it from them, or?
I mean, I've just not really talked to them that much today, to be honest. And like I said, stuff was going on like while we were sitting in the courtroom, and I couldn't, well, not while, but like, waiting to go to court, and like I just couldn't tell her exactly what was going on.
So you said like obviously you can't share anything about the case, so you haven't been sharing with like your family or anything either?
No.
How's that, not being able to confide in anyone?
I mean, the police officers are very nice, especially like Sergeant Matt Price and stuff like that. I can talk to him or like them, and they've been like really helpful this whole time. They really have been.
And anything else that you think that people should know about Evelyn, about like what makes her so special?
She's just a very sweet baby. She's got, the little dimples on her face.
Do you think she looks like you?
No, she definitely looks like her dad, but she does have my eyes.
That's good. You have very pretty eyes.
Thank you. She's the cutest baby ever. So you'll know it's her when you see her. She loves everybody. She tries to kiss everybody on the cheek. She tries to wave to everybody. She's very friendly. She's very friendly and sweet. So.
When hopefully you're reunited with her, what will be the first thing that you do?
Just hug her. I know that sounds weird, but like I miss how she smells and like her laugh and like everything. I just want to hold her.
So I know that this must be like you're missing your baby, and then there's been trust broken, right, as well. Are you worried about her safety?
I mean, in a way, yes, just because we can't find, the car or nothing like that. But they have exhausted almost every option, you know what I'm saying? They're working around the clock. They have a whole room of people up there, like, dedicated just spotting her, and I appreciate that.
Do you think that they are going to find her?
I do. I have full confidence.
You do. Are you feeling hopeful?
I am.
Can you tell me about that? Like, what keeps you going?
How many times she's blinking, like, "Listen, I'm not no professional. I don't do behavioral analysis." Is it still too low though, guys? I'm sorry. Let me just catch up. Yes, closed captioned is also available. I do have it audio boosted to 350%. I think no, 300%. I can take it up a little bit more if it's still too low. I do apologize for that. Hi, Roberta. How are you? Hi, Bushes. So with this though, like her rapid eye movements, every time she's like, "Yes, I am fully confident," and stuff. I've watched enough of behavioral analysis watch them, pick people apart for things like that. And then seclusion, you actually pointed out the different types of chuckles and smirks and things like that that she has done throughout this entire thing. She's probably nervous considering the fact that she is 18 in this, but she's also probably nervous because she's about to get found out. And as much as she tries to lie, and all the different things that she has tried to say, police are hunting down every single thing that she has tried to tell them. I'd like to know, was she able to present them with text messages between her and this alleged babysitter? Was she able to present them with a phone number that she was contacting, or the person's first and last name? Did she try to implicate someone, this alleged babysitter, into a crime? How did she claim that they meet them? All of those types of different questions as to how she was leading police on to this goose chase basically are all going to come out into court this week. And so I'm excited to hear how police have followed this investigation and made sure that they had all of the evidence that they could get against her to show that she was lying in this interview. She was lying in the next interview that we are going to watch, and she's lying everywhere. They're not over here. You're right, Ringo. But the thing, whenever I type into chat, it does type both places. That's so funny. He's over in Twitch, and whenever I type things like hello to people, um, it shows up there. I need to figure out how to share my Twitch link so that you guys can actually come and follow me over there also if you're interested. I'm probably going to do like a lot of just kind of hangout streams, I guess I should say. More so over on Twitch than I will, for example, over here on the actual main account. So let me here it is. Here's the Twitch if you guys are interested. If you follow Twitch, there's the link. So, yeah, she did. She lied in literally every interview. Literally every interview. I can see your questions, Pink Lotus. Yes, absolutely. Is Angela Boswell still in prison? I would have to do a brief search to find out. She wrapped her right. We're gonna get there. We're gonna get there, Seal. But yes, it's disgusting whenever you guys hear how her remains were left in trial, especially, we have just gotten very minimal details, and they are, yeah, it's a lot. Let you dig through your documents. You're pretty sure you have the search on the trailer documents, unredacted, True Crime Verified. If you would want to send that over to me, or if you have them posted on Facebook somewhere, please let me know the link. I know you have a lot of stuff on Facebook in different areas. And if you guys aren't following True Crime Verified, you need to. But if you would like to send where I can find that information or what you already have, it would definitely be appreciated. Sleuthmom12@outlook.com is where you guys can get a hold of me via email. You can also reach out on Facebook at sleuthmom and or leave a comment of how I can reach out to you under the video. So here we go.
Going? What's giving you hope and
The team up there is just honestly really good. They're all really good, and I can like confidently say that, like when I'm not up here, I know that they're doing their best to find her. I'm not worried that when I'm not up here, they're not like just sitting around and twiddling their thumbs. I know that they are trying genuinely.
Right. Do you have any regrets about not involving police sooner? I know that.
Well, sort of, but also in a way, I knew that as soon as anything went down, the person was going to just disappear, and they have, and they've tried to find them. They are going to find them, and I know that they'll bring her back to me.
You feel fully confident in that. That's good. But if you could do this all over again, is there anything you would do differently?
Yeah, I probably called the first day. I should have, but I just didn't want them to run with her, like they have now.
Did you ever expect them to run with her?
I knew that if anything really happened and anybody got involved, that they probably would.
Can you tell me why she was with them if you were worried about this?
They were watching her for me while I went to work.
So it was like a babysitting type childcare situation?
Yeah.
But you thought they might run with her?
No, until they took her, no. Then after that, I was like, well, if anything happens, I'm worried they will run with her. And to be honest with you, why I didn't know how good the team was up here, and if I did, I would have called the second that I realized. They are very good, like I said. They are doing everything they can, and I'm very confident in that. And that makes the situation a lot easier.
And so you said that, when did you realize that they had completely disappeared?
Like I said, I can't release anything like specific. I'm sure they will at the press conference, but
So anything else you'd like to add? Anything that you want to tell me about Evelyn?
her favorite food is sweet potatoes. She's allergic to carrots.
She's allergic to carrots. What else does she like?
She loves those little applesauce pouches.
Yeah.
She's very smart. Like, even she quit her own sippy cup at 6 months old, or not a sippy cup. She quit a bottle. I'm sorry, and went straight to a sippy cup. And like, I would leave her snacks on the floor, like in the little containers, and she'd open them up herself and like get one at a time. Like, she's a very smart, very good baby, and I just want her back.
You just must be so proud of her.
I am.
Is there anything that you would like to say to her?
That I love her, and that I will find her, and she'll be back as soon as humanly possible.
Anything else you think people should know?
No, not at this moment.
Good.
Fine. I'm Adam.
I'm trying to find where the noise is coming from. I do not know which one of my screens right now has sound. Well, okay. It was that one. Phew. Goodness. That was very loud. Very loud. Yeah, sorry, Amanda Page. Oh, yeah, she was very confident she wouldn't get caught. So then in the process of all of this, since Megan Megan's husband, boyfriend, not husband, Megan's Evelyn's, let me start this over. Since Evelyn's baby daddy was in the military and they were not actually in a relationship prior to Evelyn being reported missing, Megan did have a different boyfriend, and that boyfriend, he did come out, and he also did an interview with the press, and I'm sure that he interviewed with police, but allegedly he had never even knew anything about Evelyn. Like, he knew about her, but he never seen her. He never made a contact for the entire duration of their relationship with Evelyn at all. And so that's another huge red flag that took place.
18-month-old little girl from Sullivan County. She's believed to have been last seen a couple of months ago.
That case is making headlines across Tennessee and the country. One day ago, the Sullivan County Sheriff's Office said a missing child investigation was underway for 15-month-old Evelyn Boswell. Investigators said she was last seen by some family members the day after Christmas.
Around 8 o'clock last night, things escalated quickly. The TBI issued an Amber Alert, and it is still unclear why the child was reported missing after she was last seen several months ago, a couple of months ago. Tonight,
I'm just going to pause to say this because I will never understand. How do you go from Christmas Day? As a parent, I know how joyful and how exciting Christmas Day is, and how happy, like, there's usually stress leading up to Christmas Day, making sure trying to make sure everything is perfect and make sure that my kids have the picture perfect Christmas and like the fairy tale Christmas and things like that. And so I put a lot of stress on myself, not my kids, right? And I will never understand how so many of these cases happen so close to the holiday season. And for example, Evelyn was last seen, right after Christmas. How do you go from that happiness and those emotions of having Christmas with your baby to now she is missing, potentially unalived around that time, and hidden for months, and then just standing there smiling, smirking, laughing, all the different things that we just watched in that last video. And it gives Letitia Stalk vibes. It does, absolutely. So she did not have an attorney representing her during that interview. No, I would say no.
the National Center for Exploited and Missing Children issued its own plea for information to try to track down this little girl. Febin Cassahoon's live at the Sullivan County Sheriff's Office, where she's been monitoring developments in the case all day. Febin?
Now, as the investigation continues for the search of this 15-month-old child, many people are telling me that they are being attacked on social media due to their involvement with the family. And I spoke with one man who says he has nothing to do with the disappearance of 15-month-old Evelyn Boswell.
I've never seen the baby in my life.
Hunter Wood says he briefly dated Evelyn's mother, Megan Boswell.
She applied for a job at my restaurant, Under T's Chicken Shack, and it wasn't like a relationship. It was an on and off going, you know what I'm saying, type deal. It wasn't like an all out, like, relationship.
He says he's known Megan Boswell for about 2 months and never saw baby Evelyn.
All I've seen is pictures of her. I have no relationship with that child whatsoever.
He says he's received threats over the internet, causing him to shut down his restaurant's Facebook page.
To my knowledge, the entire time that I've known Maggie, I've never seen the baby, of course, but as well as the baby has been with the father, back from military leave. And that is all that I've known about the child.
He wants the focus to be on finding the child and not on him and his business.
There's been a bunch of stuff said about, my restaurant, Hunter T's Chicken Shack, things negative towards, to try to, stir away the main key factor of us just trying to operate.
The Sullivan County Sheriff's Office is working with the TBI to find baby Evelyn, who was reportedly last seen around December 26th.
In some aspects, the span of time that has gone by makes this a little difficult, but we are working it just as if no time has passed. Our primary function, or our primary goal in this is to find this child.
Captain Andy Seabolt with the Sullivan County Sheriff's Office says the mother and father of the child have been cooperating with officials.
We have spoken with many family members, and I'm sure that there are some others that would be helpful if we could speak with them as well. And part of what our investigators are doing is just attempting to contact people that may have information that can assist us.
Captain Seabolt says that if anyone knows anything about this missing 15-month-old child, you are asked to contact the Sullivan County Sheriff's Office. Reporting live in Sullivan County, Febin Cassoon, News Channel 11.
Agreed, BC. Like, he definitely was putting distance between himself and Evelyn. I just want to say I really, really freaking hate how the news, every time they show her picture, has this freaking bar going across. Like, it's so, you would think they would think about the placement of the photos whenever they're putting them up. Like, it takes 2 seconds to zoom it out a tiny bit so that you don't have a bar going across the face of the missing child or the information that you're putting out there. I don't know, sorry, that just like, take a second and think about what you're doing. You're showing her a picture over and over again, which is great, but you have this giant bar going across her bottom half of her face. Anyways, so but he was like, "No, that child, I don't know anything about that child. That child allegedly was with her dad." Like, he wanted nothing to do with it, and certainly seemed concerned that what seemed like a casual hookup, like the news is describing him as the ex-boyfriend, but what seemed like it was probably casual, relations probably, were they were, like, ruining his business at that point, and, like, literally death threats, social media was attacking them very brutally for answers about what happened to Evelyn, but meanwhile, he was just innocent bystander through all of that. It's just very frustrating, grateful middle-aged cat mama. I don't know why they do that, and it's not just this case, it's many cases where the news media just puts these photos up and stuff. So there's another interview I'm gonna show you guys, just to show you another video of Megan Boswell and how things just continuously kept changing over time. So this one is from, let me see if I can see the metadata. So this one is from February 24th, 2020 is when they put this out. Now, she was actually arrested on, I think she was arrested on the 20th. So let me just confirm that. Her arrest date. Let's see here. February 20th. Just says February of 2020. So anyways, so she was arrested right around the same time, and I thought it was like the 22nd, but I could be wrong. She was arrested very quickly, but this video came out right around that same time. So let's go ahead and take a look at this one. And let me just preemptively audio boost it because we already know.
She's never been mean ever. She's very sweet. She loves everybody. She's never been mean ever, which I'm very thankful for. She's just a really good-hearted baby in general. Like textbook how you want a baby to be, like has hit every milestone early, you know what I mean? Well, when she was 6 months old, she actually put a bottle on her own and it went straight to a sippy cup. She started walking probably around like 10 months. That was kind of hard though because she's like not like small as in like underfed, you know what I'm saying, but like she was a preemie when she was born. She's like a smaller baby and she kind of had trouble like balancing her weight, but she finally got a hold of it. She's starting to say a lot of words and, you know.
Tell me what.
Update, she was arrested 1 day after this interview. They arrested her the next day. So 2020, why the long delay for this trial? So this trial was set originally to go to trial in 2022, and Megan's defense attorney did take himself out of the trial at that point, and she had to get new representation, and then that new representation had to have the ability to become, up to date with the case and figure out how they were going to defend her. And that is how we ended up with the trial in 2025.
Kind of things she likes to do? What kind of, is she into any certain TV shows?
Only Baby Shark. We went to Texas to see her dad, Ethan, and she slept the whole way there. Like I had to make her wake up to eat and stuff like that, and that's like a 24-hour drive there.
So let's get into the last time you saw her. Tell me what that time was like and when that was.
Well, actually, I want to talk about that. I've told TBI where to find her in Mendota. My mom took her to a campground and a silver camper, and if they don't go tonight, I'm going to go find her myself.
So this is where we go from saying babysitter to now she is straight up accusing her mom and saying that her mom has taken her to this campground and has allegedly put her with these people at this campground. Meanwhile, her mom and mom's boyfriend were arrested at this point. If you guys remember, I think I said that was on the 22nd. Yeah.
Because I've told them and they're not really like taking it seriously. And if they don't go tonight, like I will go myself and go get her.
Tell me about the last time though
Go
that
get
you
her then.
saw Evelyn. Tell me
Go
what you
get her.
guys did and when that was.
We went to go out to eat, and then my mom came and got her. She was wearing a little hot pink tracksuit with a matching bow and little matching shoes.
And was this December 20, like right after Christmas?
A little bit before Christmas. My mom, like you can ask her, is a very vindictive, manipulating person, and she basically like threatened me the whole time that she was gone.
Do you know who has Evelyn right now?
She dropped her off somewhere in Mendota at a silver camper. But my mom would always say the person, not like people, plural.
So there is a person that has her in Mendota.
They're not taking me seriously, TBI isn't, because I've not fully told them. I've been like, hey, like my mom camped out at Mendota, you want to go check them out, but I've never been like specifically, hey, she's not your silver camper, because my mom did threaten me, like, you know, if I told anybody. I'm not going to get into that, but she did.
So your mom has had Evelyn the whole time? Or the whole time?
Or the person that is in Mendota has had her the whole time.
Tell me why you let your mom take care of her. Did she take her from you that night? And
Well, she was just supposed to babysit her. You had to go to work. Because I was going to work.
And then when did you know that something was wrong?
Well, whenever, like, she picked me up Wednesday, and I told her, like, hey, they're doing a press release about the Amber Alert thing, and then she freaked out, and that's why they couldn't find her. Like, nobody talked to her for days until they arrested her. She just kind of, poof, gone. But she kept trying to take me to Mendota, and I kept asking, I was like, are you taking me to Evelyn? And she would never tell me yes or no. And I was like, well, if you're not, I'm just calling my police station to come and get me, like, I'm not playing these games with you.
And so tell me, the day that you dropped her off with your mom to let her babysit, was there anything off about your mom that day? Did you have any suspicion that she was going to take your child?
No. Well, I called her, and she was just like, oh, she's safe, like, you know, that kind of thing. And then she started threatening me, which, like I said, I'm not going to get into, like, everything she threatened me with, you know, because I'm just not, but...
Obviously now that you believe you know who has her, what do you have to say to them?
To just bring her back. I just want her back, that's all I want.
So she's doing all of this, and she is blaming this all on her mom and saying all of these things. But on the flip side of things, this took place. And this is the same time frame. So it says that Megan swore on oath on or around 2/18/2019 in Sullivan County, Tennessee, that she did false reporting, and they're saying that they are charging her with this crime, false reporting of a crime. It says on 2/18/2020, I received a Department of Children's Services referral stating that a minor child, Evelyn Boswell, had not been seen since Christmas or since before Christmas 2019. Myself and CPS caseworker James Lewis made contact with Megan Boswell, mother and sole legal custodian of the minor, Evelyn at blank, and asked her where we could locate Evelyn Boswell. Megan Boswell told us that Evelyn was with the child's father, Ethan Perry. She further stated that she was supposed to meet him the next day, 2/19/19, at 4 p.m. at Ingles parking lot in Colonial Heights to exchange custody. After further investigation, detectives determined that Ethan Perry is actively enlisted in the United States Army and is presently stationed at Fort Polk, Louisiana, and did not have possession of Evelyn. So she's saying that the police are not taking her seriously whenever she's saying that her mom gave her to some random person at this campground. And this is why, because she has alleged already on the record that in a sworn statement that he was that Evelyn was with dad, and it wasn't true. So it says through investigation, it was determined that Megan Boswell made the false statement to law enforcement in response to the legitimate inquiry by police law enforcement concerning a material fact about an offense or with the intent to hinder law enforcement from locating Evelyn Boswell. All of the above occurred in the boundaries of Sullivan County. So, very interesting, though, um, whenever you stop and think about these interviews and how things played out.
I've been so long without her, and I know a lot of people are like, oh, why didn't you report it missing earlier? Because my mom threatened me, and I just want her back. That's all I can think about is how much I just want her back.
Talk to me about when you had the indication that she was missing and something was seriously wrong.
Just when she left and took off and just didn't answer her phone.
Talk to me about why your dad made that report.
Because he was talking to my mom the night before, and he was like, oh, well, if she doesn't come home, I'm going to call. And she was going on, well, you're going to regret this. Like, I'm going to have to leave and never be able to come back. You will regret this.
Was there a reason that, that you didn't make the call and it was your dad?
Because Mom kept threatening me if I made the call.
Well, you said that you've had some issues with your mom in the past. Was there a reason you decided to let her babysit her that night? I know that, you said that you had...
Well, she's my mom. I wanted to trust her.
Sheriff Cassidy told the media on Friday, I was there, that you were giving conflicting statements.
Because I wouldn't necessarily... I was trying to protect my mom, maybe in hopes, oh, well, she'd just tell them where Evelyn was, but obviously she's not going to.
Also, looking at this document, I'm pretty sure they got the date wrong, saying 2019, because down below here they listed it as 2020, and obviously Evelyn was not reported missing until December of 2019, which means that police would have been investigating that or saying that she was last seen December of 2019. She was reported February 18th of 2020, and so I think that they put 2019 here in error. So I did just want to correct that just in case anybody's like, that's confusing. So down below it is signed 2/25/2020.
So now you're coming out and you're saying this is the honest truth, that you know where she is.
I know she has to be in a campground in Mendota with somebody. And Mom told me that they had a silver camper, and that's all she would tell me.
Are you
Silver camper,
cooperating
that
as much
number
as
doesn't
you can
count.
with TBI and the Sullivan County Sheriff's Department?
I am.
But just tell me, how so are you, constantly on the phone with them? Tell me, about the tips, anything like that.
Yeah, and I've looked into stuff online myself, like, people are, like, circulating pictures around me, like, oh, this is Evelyn, you know what I'm saying, and, like, that kind of thing. But no. And, like, Saturday, nobody would answer me, and I blew all their phones up. And every chance they've let me be up there, I have been up there.
And Wednesday will be a week since the Amber Alert went out. Tell me what you're thinking right now.
I just don't know if the person who has her is, like, maybe scared that they're going to get in trouble. But they won't. They just bring her back.
What are you thinking about her current status right now? Do you think she is okay? Do you think she's being taken care of? And what is your message to authorities right now? To the TBI, Sullivan County, and all of the sheriff's departments and any authority that's working on this case?
Just that if they don't take it seriously what I just said, I will go find her myself. They've told me before they'll arrest me for tampering with evidence, and I told them on my phone, I was like, I don't care if you arrest me for tampering with evidence. If you go up there, I'm going to tonight.
Do you have a message to the public?
Don't stop until she's back. They need to stop reporting, like, psychics, for one, like, come on. You know what I'm saying? Because that just wastes the TBI's time when they could be actually trying to find my daughter. Instead, people are like, oh, well, this lady did tarot card reading. Like, you know what I mean? I feel like that just takes away from the time of, like, them actually searching for my daughter. I'm just happy that people are coming together to try to find her. Because the main important thing right now is the baby. I'm just happy that people are trying to find her.
Have you been in contact with her father, you think?
Yeah. He's actually trying to get leave approved right now to come up here and try to, help find her.
What is her relationship like with him?
She's only been around him a couple times because when he was in the Army.
And what is your relationship like with him? Do you keep in contact with him?
Well, yeah, we have a kid together. You know what I mean?
Did you notify him when you knew something was wrong?
Mm-hmm.
Why do you have multiple social media profiles is one that we've been getting a lot.
Because I break phones a lot, and I forget the password. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm really bad about remembering passwords. Now I have them all set to one, but, up until that point, I just, you know. I just couldn't remember the password to them, so I'll just make a new one when I got a new phone.
Tell me why you wanted to come out today and speak with us.
Just to talk about Evelyn, you know, if TBI doesn't go find her or not, I'm hell-bent on going myself. And that's the truth, one way or another.
This is a really big case, and a lot of people have a lot of questions surrounding this. Is there any other message that you want to send to anyone?
So if you don't have tips for sure, because over 370 some tips have been called in and they've just not panned out. Like, I appreciate people trying to help, but like, also that's wasting like TBI's time, because they have to check out every single lead that's called in.
You know, obviously it's been a long time since you've seen her. Are you worried about that, about reuniting with her?
No, because I love her. I know she loves me.
And do you think she's been taken care of well in the time that you've missed with her?
I hope she has been.
Tell me what the first things you want to do with her.
I'm just going to hug her and not let her go.
Wow.
Like, they'll have to pry her from my arms. Literally, because I'm just not going to let her go. Probably going to say Baby Shark to her. And just hug her and not let her go. My favorite.
She's making me so angry right now, knowing that she shoved her baby into a trash can while she is sitting here. She has not once said anything past tense. I've been really listening for that. She is a very great little actress, Seal. Very much so. And she talked about how manipulative and things her mom was. She would have grown up under that. She would have grown up learning how to manipulate and how to deceive people if her mom truly is like that. And you can see it. You can see it through these interviews. It's scary. I do. I feel like we have a lot stronger case here as well, Stormy. I don't think she's going to walk either. And this is something the defense has tried multiple times in this case to get a change of venue, and that has been denied multiple times. Jury selection starts tomorrow. I'm not entirely sure how how long jury selection is going to take because they have 1,200 people coming in for the jury selection for this case because the publicity was so widespread and because there is so many emotions in this case. And then, of course, the graphicness of the details of what they're going to be showing through this case as well is also going to factor into this. Yeah, sociopath. Right? It's yeah, Lise, absolutely. Great little liar. She is laughing and smiling away. And to just know. Wasting resources, right? Talking about how they're wasting resources, how people, need to not be wasting resources on these psychics because the tarot card readers, the psychics were all pointing towards you at this point, weren't they, Megan? Trying to say all the right things to the media. Sitting here just like not a care in the world with your poor grandmother sitting there supporting you and helping you through this interview and being there for you. And then you did it. Eh, it's infuriating. It's absolutely infuriating. Just waiting for her to finish off and say that people owe her an apology. Yeah, I think so too. I think it'll be a fair amount of time. Probably at least a couple days. I know Gannon's case took almost a week. You think 2 days. I think it's gonna be longer. I think it's gonna be much longer.
Favorite thing is the first time she kissed me, Lord, I cried for over a week because she would pull my hair and I would just let her do it, because I love her. Like, I didn't want to make her cry or be upset in any way, and she would pull chunks of my hair out. And she was in her locker one night and like she dropped her sippy cup and I bent down to pick it up and I was like, oh, she's gonna pull my hair. She pulled my face close to her and she kissed my cheek and I just like cried about it for over a week. So I was like, oh my God, I'm the first person that she's kissed. You know what I'm saying? Just like little stuff like that. I love her to death and I would hate to have missed out on anything. Especially because of my mom.
And obviously, you told me you talked to your mom a couple of times throughout this. And each time, did she give you any update on Evelyn?
She just told me that she was safe.
So when was the last time you talked to your mom? Like physically just the two of you on the phone or?
Wednesday, the 19th.
Tell me any details about that conversation.
I mean, she was just going off on me and wanting to go to Mendota. And I kept telling her, I was like, if everyone's in Mendota, just take me to her. I will take her up there. We can just end this right now. Like, let's make this simple. Just give me my child back right now before this gets blown out of proportion. And she would never be like, oh yeah, I'm taking you. She'd just be like, you don't need to talk to them. I don't want you going up there, and like stuff like that. And I was like, okay, well, if you're not going to take me to her, pull over, and I will have like somebody on Sullivan County's end come get me to go up there and talk to them.
What is your biggest fear right now?
I have a lot of them. Just that I don't know that maybe they won't find her tonight, or maybe they don't find her tomorrow. Maybe it's weeks from now before they find her. The people aren't going to be like, oh, well, like I'm not giving her back because I kept her for 2 months. This is my child now. Well, still, I'm just worried that they're going to be angry about that. You know what I mean?
Right.
She just needs to come home.
Exactly.
She's been away from her mom for long enough.
So, I know there are a ton of social media rumors. So if there's anything that you want to set straight that I'm not aware of, I will. This is
Gypsies are not a cult. They've been asking people if there's like a gypsy ringleader, and we're not like ringleaders. We're not like out here kidnapping babies or anything like that.
So would you describe your family as a gypsy family?
Well, yeah. And like my dad's very proud of that, but he's just mad about all the rumors going around, like trashing them because like we're not a cult, you know what I mean?
And now that your mom is back here and are getting ready to be back here in Sullivan County, what do you hope comes out of that? Obviously, she and her, William believes her boyfriend was arrested.
Well, I doubt she's going to tell the truth, but hopefully she does, for Evelyn's sake. Not even for her sake at this point. Just if she hears this, I hope you tell the truth for her sake. Like that is your grandbaby. It's went on long enough.
So, I think so, BC. I think that the time frame for this case is going to make it slightly easier. Um, but whenever you're looking at locals, the locals know and care about their cases even when the internet forgets, right? And so that's the issue. They're going to have to find 16 locals who have not already formed an opinion, 12 for the jury, and then 4 alternates. They may do 6 alternates. I'm not entirely sure how many exactly they're going to select, but it is going to be interesting because a lot of people followed this case very, very closely. And like Lee said, it's going to be hard to find an impartial jury. It's going to be very difficult. So one of the other things that I can show you guys is the different counts. We're not going to read through them word for word, but here are the different counts that she is being charged with during this trial. Give me 1 second. I got to clear my throat. Okay, sorry about that. So she is being charged with felony murder. Counts 1 and count 2 are both felony murder. And so it is felony crime of aggravated child abuse. Let's see, what am I? She unlawfully or feloniously killed Evelyn May Boswell, and said killing being committed in the perpetration of the attempted perpetrate the felony crime of aggravated child abuse. Um, and then this one is felony murder. This one is during aggravated child neglect. So then the next one is count 3 is aggravated child abuse, that she did inflict child abuse upon her. Count 4 is child neglect. Anytime that you don't know where your child is and you are the only person who is supposed to be providing care with her, that's obviously child neglect. Tampering with evidence, said that she did unlawfully, knowingly, or feloniously alter, destroy, or conceal evidence with the intent to impair its availability, uh, the ability to make it known. Let me see here. I agree. When the officer who found Evelyn testifies, it's going to be very hard to hear. Hi, Dino, how are you? You're local to the case. It's going to be extremely hard to find a local that hasn't heard or seen something about the case. I agree. You're mentally prepared like you always do, but it's still going to be hard. So then false report count 6. So this one says that they had reached out to her and that she had said a statement that she knew was false with the intent to obstruct or hinder the officer from preventing the offense and or incident from occurring or continuing to occur. That false statement concerning Evelyn Boswell and the defendant's claim that her infant child was with the child's father, Ethan Perry, contrary to code. Uh, you know, all the code numbers and stuff. So that's the document that I showed you earlier where she's sitting there in that interview telling us one thing, and she had already told the police something completely different. So then count 7, false report again. Obviously, this is going to be a lot of the obstructions. False report is also count 8. Count 9 is also false report. Count 10, false report. Count 11, false report. Count 12, false report. Count 13, false report. 14, false report. 15, false report. 16, false report. 17, false report. And then 18 is abuse of a corpse. But that is what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 sworn statements that she gave to law enforcement that were false, and they were able to prove that those statements were false. And then, of course, abuse of a corpse because she physically mistreated her daughter's remains. And then failure to report a death under suspicious or unusual or unnatural circumstances. Evelyn Boswell was a healthy child by all accounts and had nothing that she would have died of natural causes from. It's very clear that somebody caused her death and caused her to no longer be this happy, vibrant child that we seen in the video. Somebody being in these grueling conditions that we're going to read about in just a second. She went from this happy, happy baby. Yeah, Harmony's trials, all of these trials, honestly, Stormy, every single time that we sit here and you hope and you pray and you search and you share flyers and you pray for the best possible outcome for these children. And you're just waiting for good news that these babies are going to be found and that they'll be found safe and alive. And every single time that one of these children are not found alive, it just takes a little piece of every single one of us. I know it does. And it just takes another little piece of our heart and it breaks it. And that stays with you. These children, like they imprint on your souls and it stays with you forever. Just knowing that this young, vibrant life was taken out of this world before they ever even had a chance. They ever even had a chance to be something. And we've covered so many children's cases, guys. We've been doing this for 3.5 years on this channel and followed it. We've been following true crime for much longer than that. And I know many of you guys have followed true crime for years. Think about every single child. And I'm sure so many of you can name hundreds of thousands of children that you have covered or searched or dug information on or looked at family profiles or tried to find information that maybe could lead to some type of answer in those cases, to no avail. And I'm just going to say though, we keep doing it. Why? It's almost like self torture in a way, like to have this negative thing that we're constantly looking at and staring at. But we keep doing it. Why? We keep doing it because there are kids who are found safe. There are kids who need their flyers shared and who need us to see their stories. There are kids who need us to advocate for them and to be their voices. There are kids who and their families who need us to share the stories and make sure that everybody sees so that suspects can be caught, so that people with the right information for those suspects to be caught can be found. Think of Michael Vaughn's case, for instance. There are people in that case that need to be found guilty of his crime, that need police need the information and need us to help get that information to them. And so that's why it's so important to just keep doing this. But then also, once you're so emotionally tied to a case, you have to follow it through trial. You have to follow the justice. Some of these children have no voice. Some of these children have no family whatsoever that advocate for them at all. You look at Cody Bigsby, for example. His dad's going back to court this same week. Corey Bigsby will be back in court all week this week at the same time that the Evelyn Boswell trial is going on. And I've been debating back and forth, which one do we watch? Which one do we watch? Do we try to do both? Do we do half the day on one case and half the day on the other? Like, it's something that I've been debating. How can we see both things happen? Because uh, Cody Bigsby has no voice either. Not one family member advocated for him, right? Not one family member advocated for him. And Evelyn, same thing. Who advocated for Evelyn from her family? Her lion mama? Thank God Grandpa reported her missing. How long would we have gone? And it's just it's infuriating. And so we watch it through. We follow through for justice to see the case, to see what happened, and be there and just keep hoping that these families that are going through this have the support from the communities and things like that. The family is the defense. Yeah. My kids are grown, and I have grandchildren. I could never imagine doing something like this to any of them. You just don't understand it. It will never make sense. I mean, the minute that you were able to sit here and tell me that it makes sense why somebody killed a child a day or two after Christmas or sometime around that, the day that you were able to sit here in my chat and say, "Oh, no, I understand exactly why Megan did this. I understand exactly why Letitia did this. I understand exactly why Corey did this. I understand exactly why Adam did this. I understand," right? The minute that you're able to say that about any of these cases, I understand exactly why the West did this. Y'all need to better be like some type of behavior analysis or some type of doctorate or some type of something, because if you're saying something like that in this chat, there's a problem and you need to disconnect and pray that people in your lives are safe, because you should never understand. I don't understand how any of us could ever understand, even psychologists. I mean, we can watch Hidden True Crime with Dr. John and watch his take on why things happen, but even he doesn't truly know what exactly was going through that person's head. Yeah, if you can say that, then you need some help. You better have some type of very, very special doctorate or a white coat that they're going to be putting you in very soon. It'll never make sense ever. So I don't know. There's so much with this case though. And it's going to be very hard to watch, especially whenever it comes to the details of how her remains were found. And so that's what I was getting ready to pull up. They did have the autopsy sealed. She was located. Let's see here. Let me pull this up. Let me pull up. I want to play the press conference. Is what I'm looking for right now. Sorry. I keep pulling up the same thing over and over again. Okay. So Evelyn was found on March 6th, and she was found, and then police did this press conference. So this was March 7th that they did this press conference, and or March 6th, late in the day, early morning, March 7th. And this was after her remains are found. Just kidding. Here's an ad.
Good evening, and thank
Goodness, that is low. Give me 1 second. Let me switch it.
you for being here. I'm Leslie Earhart, a public information officer for the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation. First off, I would like to thank each of you for your assistance in sharing information about this case from the very beginning. This is certainly not the update we had hoped to provide this evening. Before we get started, you should know that this is a very active investigation. We understand that you have a lot of questions, but please understand, in order to preserve the integrity of the investigation, there's not a lot that we can release at this time. Sheriff Jeff Cassidy is going to give a brief statement, followed by District Attorney General Barry Staubus. Sheriff.
I'm Jeff Cassidy, Sheriff of Sullivan County. I first want to thank the community for their outpouring of love, support, and prayers for the last 17 days when sweet Evelyn was first reported missing. I want to thank the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation, the Federal Bureau of Investigation, and our detectives and officers for their persistence, dedication, and hard work in trying to locate Evelyn. This evening, we received information that led TBI agents and Sullivan County detectives to a property belonging to a family member of Evelyn's mother in the 500 block of Muddy Creek Road in Blumpville. During the search, investigators discovered human remains believed to be those of a 15-month-old girl. The remains will be sent for an autopsy and a positive identification. At this time, the investigation is in the very early stages. There's a lot of work left to be done, and right now, this is the extent of what we can provide today. I would now like to introduce our District Attorney General, Barry Staubus, who can advise you how the case will progress from here on forward. Thank you.
Thank you, Sheriff.
Thank you, Jim.
I first want to say I want to thank law enforcement. We've been involved as part of the investigation since its inception, and it's been excellent working relationship with our office and the TBI, the Sheriff's Department, and the FBI. And at this point, as the Sheriff pointed out, we're just in the beginning stages of the investigation. And at this point, we're just going to continue working. There's a lot of work to still be done, and at that we will evaluate our case and what we're going to do next after we conclude our investigation. So based on what has happened tonight, there's a lot of work to be done forensically and just old-fashioned investigative work. So thank you.
Thank you for coming.
Very quick, very short press conference about it. So, some of the details that came out after this press conference, and during the court proceedings leading up to the trial, we learned a lot from through that 2-year time frame leading up to trial. There were many different court hearings, motions, different things like that. Unfortunately, like I said, the trial did get delayed from 2022, and now here we are in 2025. The trial will be happening, but the judge did rule on the photos that were going to be able to be used in the case during the presentation of the evidence. And it says after weeks of wild goose chases in 2020, the search for missing Sullivan County toddler Evelyn Boswell, authorities finally had a solid lead. It came on March 6th of 2020. The Tennessee Bureau of Investigations agent Brian Fraley testified Friday at the hearing in Sullivan County Criminal Court from Evelyn's grandfather, Tommy Boswell Sr. We received a call from Evelyn's grandfather talking about a storage shed on his property. He believed that it may have been valuable for us to look in and search. Inside of the shed on the Boswell family homestead on Muddy Creek Road was a playhouse Tommy Boswell Sr. had built years ago for Megan Boswell, his daughter, the teenage mother of then missing toddler. That playhouse had not been played in for years. When the agents opened the door of the playhouse, he saw a trash can that looked out of place. It was my belief that the trash can was placed there recently. The agent said that he removed the trash can from the playhouse, lifted the trash bags covering the top portion of the can, and peered inside. I observed a leg with a foot attached on top of the trash. He said he knew at once that the mystery had captured the attention of the people across the world where was 15-month-old Evelyn had finally been solved. But a key question remained. Was Evelyn dead from accidental suffocation, as her mother was now claiming, when her tiny body was stuffed upside down in the trash can? An autopsy would soon provide that what forensic pathologists called a disturbing answer. And I'm just telling you guys now, trigger warning. And this is just a tiny fraction of the type of things that we are going to hear about during court. And so anytime with these trials, protect yourself if you need to for any of this sensitive information. So it says this was not, as Megan Boswell claimed, an accidental asphyxiation. The manner of death was a homicide. Megan Boswell is set to stand trial in February of 2023. Obviously, this has been moved back 2 years from the time of this article. On charges including felony murder in the death of the child she once called her purpose and a reason for waking up every day. You can say whatever you want about me being a young mom, but I promise you my life is so much better with this angel, she wrote in September 2019 Facebook post. My life wasn't ruined when I had her. She gave me purpose and a reason to wake up every day and to better myself. There is no love like the love from your child. Until Friday, the cause and manner of the toddler's death had been kept under wraps. The indictment served up by Sullivan County grand jury in August 2020 had alleged that only that Evelyn died as the result of aggravated child abuse or, in the alternative, aggravated child neglect. The toddler was first reported missing in February of 2020 by her grandfather, who told authorities that she had not been seen in more than 2 months. When the detectives asked Megan where she was, she said that he was in the care or that Evelyn was in the care of her 19-year-old father, Ethan Perry. She wasn't. She then next accused her drug-addicted mother, Angela Boswell, of taking the child to a campground and leaving her there. A search of the campgrounds there put a lie to that claim. The teenager trotted out another story to both authorities and the media, claiming that the toddler was safe with people she shouldn't name, before finally admitting to TBI weeks after the disappearance that the child was deceased. She claimed that it was an accidental death and that she and her boyfriend at the time, who has told us in that interview that we watched that he had never even seen Evelyn before. But she claimed that she and her boyfriend at the time were sleeping in bed with Evelyn when they woke up that morning and she was unresponsive and that she had been smothered. The agent said that Megan concealed that she had disposed the child's body in a trash can but would not tell authorities where to find it. The whole case is disturbing. So, the man who serves as the chief medical examiner for Knox and Anderson counties said, sorry, and is an expert in fatal child abuse cases, testified Friday, hearing that Evelyn was alive. She was alive still, you guys, when she was tightly wrapped in a fleece blanket and placed in a trash bag and shoved headfirst into the trash can that was found inside of the playhouse. This baby was alive when her mom stuck her in there. I just The disposal of this child was remarkable. She was sort of compressed in the can in an accordion-like position. There was a severe overextension of her head and neck, an extreme extension. The blanket was not just haphazardly placed around her body. It was so tightly to prevent her from breathing that the blanket left imprints on her skin. Her head was pressed backwards towards her back, and her face was pressed against the side of her trash can. Her knees were bent into her chest, and her legs and feet were lodged against her buttocks. She literally shoved this baby into this trash can alive and crunched her down like she was trash, essentially. She was dressed in a purple onesie with penguins on it and a diaper. The onesie was unzipped. So this was not a child dying in her sleep. She's too old for that, and she's too big for that. The forensic pathologist was summoned to testify Friday to explain why she believes jurors should be allowed to see the photographs of the dead child taken as her body was removed from the trash can and unwrapped layer by layer. The attorney who represents Megan Boswell insisted that the photographs were so gruesome that jurors might convict his client solely on the emotional reaction. Well, yeah, I could see that. A close up photo of Evelyn's face was disturbing, but I think it's important to show how tightly confined her face was. Alive, guys, in this trash can like this. I got to keep saying that because it makes the crime so much more heinous, and they're not seeking the death penalty before anyone asks. The most that she can get is going to be life in prison. But when Sprouls repeatedly pressed her to label all of the photographs as disturbing, the medical examiner pushed back. He said, "This whole case is disturbing." She said, sorry. The whole case is disturbing. Yeah, she was in a fleece blanket. She also put aluminum foil in her mouth, which we don't see that in this article, but she had aluminum foil in her mouth as well. So he ruled that the close up photographs of Evelyn's face was so haunting that it might prejudice the jurors and that it will not be able to be used in trial. But he is going to allow the jurors to see nearly a dozen other photographs taken after Evelyn's body was discovered. It's just, I don't know. This case is it makes me so angry. The whole thing, all of it. She didn't deserve any of this. Any of it. And there's her mom laughing and smiling in these interviews, chuckling, talking about how her favorite foods and her favorite toys and how she's just going to hold her and never let her go. She's just going to wrap her arms around her, she said, and just cling to her and never let her go. I guess like you wrap that blanket around her, right, Megan? It's just disgusting. So this is what we're going to be watching though. If they are streaming the jury selection, I will stream the jury selection as well. But we're still going to do it the same way that we do the trial format. So we'll still start the streaming of the jury selection a little bit behind where they are by a few hours so that we can skip the breaks and the lunches whenever they do it. Because even though it's jury selection, the attorneys do still take breaks and lunches. But I think that this is one of those cases, guys, we have to follow through. Following it since she first was reported missing, and I'll be danged if I don't watch this trial. Was this over her boyfriend like Suzanne Smith? I don't know. I don't know. Right. If you didn't want her, there's so many options. So many options, not just adoption. You don't think her dad might not have wanted her or one of your other family members or somebody? There's so many options that are not to kill your child, right? But for some reason, none of those options ever seem to ever seem to go through these people's heads. They just go straight to killing their child. And so whether it's an act of anger or frustration or whatever, I don't know. Here, this article here talks about this article here. It says on August 19th, she was formally charged with felony murder in her daughter's death. Sorry. She was formally charged with felony murder in her daughter's death and with aggravated child abuse, aggravated child neglect, tampering with evidence, and abuse of a corpse. So they did announce that they would not seek the death penalty. In September of 2022, a forensic pathologist testified during a hearing that he believed the toddler died from asphyxiation. It's thought that Evelyn suffocated by four mechanisms. She was smothered by a blanket and aluminum foil and was upside down in a trash can that was lined with a trash bag. That's where they mention the aluminum foil, which I'm sure there are probably documents that I have to go through and find, or Seal will go through and find that go down through all of the details, but it's just gross. Here's a video of her going into Sorry about that. How did grandpa know where to look? That has been a question for ages, but I don't know if hopefully we get that answered during court, but
Aaron Velasquez is
she had mentioned something about it, or maybe I don't know. It's so hard to say. There have been a lot of speculation about that. But I don't think that grandpa would have reported her missing if I don't think grandpa would have reported her missing if he was somehow covering for her.
attorney to explain some of the changes and the setbacks in this case.
That's right, Brittany. It's been a long road to get to trial.
Why is everything so low? Like, I feel like we can't even operate anymore without the volume booster. Hold on. Oh, wait. I have my own headset turned down. Oh, man. My own headset was turned down. I'm still going to volume boost it, though. But
But let's take it back to the beginning to talk about how this all started. I want to warn viewers at home, details in this case may be disturbing. In December of 2019, 15-month-old Evelyn Boswell went missing in Sullivan County. However, she was not reported missing until February of 2020. The state issued an Amber Alert, and the ensuing investigation concluded when Evelyn was found on the Boswell family property. According to an agent with the TBI, Evelyn Boswell's body was found inside a trash bag that was stuffed inside a trash can. Her mother, Megan Boswell, was charged with felony murder, but has since also seen an additional charge of premeditated first-degree murder.
you know, the prosecution has got to prove in this particular case, where it's a premeditated murder, that there was a set of circumstances such that the mother made a conscious decision to terminate the life of this child.
The road to the trial has also been rocky. Megan had a change of attorney. The defense also shared concerns about the challenge to find an impartial jury in Sullivan County. Coming up in our next half hour, I'll dive deeper into the search for the jury and the future of this trial. For now, ladies, we'll go ahead and send things back to you.
And then ear blasted immediately after. Sorry, guys. I can never catch it fast enough. I don't know why the audio everywhere has been low, but yes, I did have it also turned down in my own speakers. That was still audio boosted though. But so this is where we're at. We are going to watch through this. I am still going to try to watch also Corey Bigsby while he goes to court as well this week. I got to figure out what we're going to do in that situation. The other side of things is I also, my aunt is having surgery next week on the 12th. And so the 12th and the 13th, I will be MIA. And so we will likely watch the footage from the 12th and the 13th um, on like and condense it down and see if we can watch through it in that way. So that's where we're at. So, welcome to the Sleuth family, everybody who received one of the gifted memberships this week. Appreciate you guys all for tuning in and doing all the things to help the channel grow. Make sure you please continue to hit the like button and share the videos. If you're not following on Facebook or Twitch, consider doing so because we do also have Facebook and Twitch. So, but I am going to go ahead and jump off here, you guys. It's a very, very traumatic story. Very, very disturbing story. And I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see the trial for sure. So, but I'm going to jump off here because I do have to work in a few minutes. I love you guys all so much. Thank you all for tuning in, and I will see you guys tomorrow. So Daddy's Baby Girl, I will likely go live around between 12 and 1 o'clock each day. So we'll likely start whenever, depending on what time they take their lunch. Typically, I start whenever they start their lunch or shortly after. So we'll either do 12 p.m. or 1 p.m. Eastern Standard and then stream until it typically takes us until about 6 in the evening to watch it at that point then. And then that'll give us the ability to watch everything in a condensed 4 to 5 hour period rather than watching it for 8 hours. So, but yep, I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye.